Chapter 8. First Game Sivers. The next morning, we put on the uniforms to warm up before the game. At first, I was about freezing outside. The grass had little flakes on ice on it, so I went back upstairs and found my sweatshirt. I emptied my entire bag, hoping to find my navy sweatshirt someplace, but to no avail. Then I realized, shit! I slapped my forehead. I left it at school. I had brought other jackets, but if I wanted to keep my head, I had to show up in front of Levi with matching uniforms. Oh well, it can't be that cold outside. I'm sure it'll be. I followed everyone outside, immediately starting shivering, and once the cold air hit my face. Bryce, where's your jacket? It's freezing out here, Jean asked. Even Ryan is wearing a sweatshirt. That's practically unheard of. He wears shorts in the rain.
Well, funny story, actually. I never left at school.
I smiled sheepishly. Oh, if you want, Jean started nervously. You can borrow mine.
Oh my god.
I took a second to think about it. That's right.
It's always been way too cold out here not to have a jacket. It's my fault for being unprepared. Besides, I can handle it.
I said confidently. I heard Eren laughing behind my back. Sure you can, Bryce, he mocked. It's not like your arms are literally glued to your chest under your shirt. What? Oh, I had instinctively taken my arms out from the short sleeves and tucked them under my uniform. That's embarrassing. I'm gonna get more and more creative with these accents. At least he can actually play today, Eren. Jean defended. You're stuck on the bench for our first game because you got your kicked yo ass.
Dude, Jean's iconic one-liner.
It was true. Eren's lip was pretty swollen, and if he were to take another hit anywhere near his face, he'd be benched for a lot longer than a few days. Captain Levi decided it would be the best move to play a man down today than to risk Eren getting re-injured once again, which would basically screw us for the entire season. As much as I disliked the boy, Eren was a great goalie, and we needed him. After a few warm-ups, led by Hanji, or whatever her name was slowly starting to heat up.
God damn it.
But my lips were still frozen solid. I moved a lot slower and stood too stiffly. Long story short, I sucked. Levi benched me for a few minutes and gave me an old blanket to warm up. It definitely helped, but there was no way I could play an entire 90 minutes without dying of frostbite. Jean looked at me longingly. I could tell he felt bad. Eren was on the bench, not too far away from me, chewing on his left string of his hoodie. It was weird that he was doing that, but he looked comfortable. He was watching one play, and that's when the thought entered my mind. I despised him. I shivered as a gust of wind blew over the... Oh, here we go. Eren's point of view. I watched Bryce shake from the other side of the bench. It must have sucked to be her. Her first game ever with an entirely new team, and she couldn't even run properly. Hilarious. It was like she deserved, though. After all, it was her own fault that my lip was busted open in the first place. This was the only proper punishment. I smirked. Come as a bitch, Bryce.
I feel attacked and I don't like it.
It's not too late to make it, Thomas.
I didn't say stop, Mike. I didn't say stop.
Okay, that's fair. After about 5 minutes of watching her violently shiver, I started to feel a bit bad for her. I mean, if she had really wanted to play, she could have just taken Dwayne's sweatshirt when he offered. Jeans, I mean. Levi jeans. My god, I shipped them so hard just now. Just like that. I think Bryce's pride was that fragile. Or perhaps it was just her inconsiderate. She didn't strike me as a very selfish person. What am I saying? That was probably Armin talking. Every time I chastised her, he'd come to her defense. He'd always push in that she wasn't awful and that I'd made her out to be. He'd say things like, oh, Bryce offered to study with me today. That was pretty kind of her. Or, geez, Eren, oh, I don't know why you criticized her so much. She'd Didn't she give a part of her lunch to you when you were in the infirmary? Or worst of all, well, I think Bryce is actually very pretty. She has very nice eyes, and it's an objective fact. I'm pretty sure you chose to dislike her because it's a little thing. It was draining to talk about her to him. He just kept pushing her on a pedestal like she was some kind of amazing friend. They've only had a few conversations together though, so I wasn't sure how his word was better than mine. Nice, sure, I could see that. But attractive? Unlikely. I remember how she showed up to school on the first day. Her hair was stuck out in every direction, her eyes had purple bags beneath them, and her uniform wasn't even tucked in. On her first day. Not to mention, I was kind enough to stop her from hitting her head on the bus, touched her neck, and it was wet. That's disgusting. I haven't seen one day when she hadn't looked put together. Even now, she looked like shit.
Oh, that's me.
I can still hear Armin in my ear. Why are you so caught up in what she looks like? Does that even matter? Are you saying you shouldn't help her? Hold on. Are you saying you shouldn't help her because she's ugly? No, I'm not saying I shouldn't help her because she's annoying. Bryce jumped and turned to me. I guess I said that out loud.
Who are you talking to, Jaeger?
She asked politely. Well, I looked at her and said, that's none of your goddamn business, Bryce. Stay out of it. I retaliated. Maybe I should just let her borrow mine. I'm sitting out today anyway, so I could just sit in the cabin until after the game. I kept arguing that with myself. That's stupid. She kicked the soccer ball right in my face. Why would I help her? You'll be helping the team in the process, Armin commented inside my head. Oh my god. Fine. This time I made sure that my reply was inside my head. I stood up and walked behind the bench, pulled off my sweatshirt, my blood boiling at this point, and then it's all her fault. I walked behind her so she didn't notice. I left my seat at the bench, shoved my sweatshirt over her head, stalked off to the cabin without bothering to explain. You're welcome, Armin. A few minutes later, I saw Bryce practicing outside with the others, wearing my sweatshirt. It practically consumed her figure. While she waited to shoot, I saw her absently chewing on the strings of the hoodie. Hey!
Ow!
I yelled out the window. I wonder how loud I am. Eren. I turned around and saw Armin at the head of the stairs. What are you doing here? He asked. Too cold outside, I mumbled. He stood beside me and gazed out the window. You gave Bryce your sweatshirt. I heard she forgot hers. He looked closer. Ha! She's chewing on the left string. You two now share the same DNA.
Oh my god.
That's a very Armin thing to say if we're going to be realistic here. Armin stared at me with his big blue baby eyes. She looks a lot better. That was very kind of you, Eren. I didn't have a choice, I mused. You made me do it. Eh? It voiced my head, and I replied apathically. Oh. We stood together in silence. She's a very good runner, you know. You guys have a lot in common, actually. Did you know that Bryce likes cheeseburgers, too? I sighed. Armin, why do you keep advertising her to me? Because I think if you gave her a chance, she'd be worth your while. I scoffed. I don't need her. I have you and Mikasa. I think you're lying to yourself, Eren. This is intense hatred you have for her didn't come out of nothing. You're right, Armin. It came from her smacking her locker in my face before I even got to meet her. So be it. Armin left the cabin to go cheer on the team. A few minutes later, historian Marco followed. Harry's left big toe says, I hate cheeseburgers.
Okay,
Voice in my head,
wow.
broken heart.
The door is that way, Horde.
Yeah. Author's notes. Hi, y'all. Hope you enjoyed these chapters. Let me know if you want me to post more. Things are going to start getting heated up in the next chapters, but I want to introduce everyone first. So, yeah.
Introduction, where's the heat?
So, yeah, just leave a comment if you'd like me to continue and so I can update you. And thank you all for reading. This means so much to me. This guy's going to see my video on YouTube one day.